Now I would like to introduce Jess Coburn.
Hi, my name's Jess. I finished writing a play called Stigma Island around 6 or 7 months ago, and I started writing it because I realised I don't know a single woman that hasn't experienced sexual harassment or assault. The parts of the play that I'm going to read out are from near the end, where the female character is frustrated and angry because she's realised she's been in survival mode for so long. I hate men, and I know that'll have annoyed some of you, me saying that, and you're itching to say not all men, and it's not all men. It never is it? I know I'm generalising. I don't mean that I despise every single person on this planet that identifies as a man. That would be ridiculous. No, when I say I hate men, I obviously mean I hate the shit ones. And there are shit women too, don't get me wrong, people suck. But I just feel like men are more in your face about it. They don't even mean to be, but the patriarchy has allowed this bullshit to go on for so long that men are very comfortable taking up all of that space. And I'm really just trying to work through my shit so I can start taking up the space I deserve to. Or the space that my therapist says I deserve to. And she knows as well as I do that I don't actually hate men. For one, it's not entirely their fault. We're raised in a society where men benefit from misogyny, the same way white people benefit from living in a racist one. And we know it isn't all men, but it's definitely too many. And don't get me started on all the guys that just don't want to listen, or the ones that think it's a topic to argue about, or a place for them to invalidate people's experiences. I don't hate men, I'm scared of them. And I'm fully aware that that's not how I should feel, because obviously not all men are a threat. But, okay, for example, imagine you get into a pretty bad car crash, right? And basically this other car just drove straight into you, like it was completely their fault that it happened. And it was a Ford Fiesta, okay? And you survive, and it's not super serious, but you know, you're a bit nervous for a while afterwards to get back on the roads, but you do, and you're okay. You aren't going to get scared every time you see a Ford Fiesta, are you? No, you're going to feel uneasy anytime any car gets that bit too close to yours. That's how I feel about men, and it's pretty annoying because it feels irrational and stupid, and I don't know which men are a threat, so I'm just wary all of the time. I can't help but tense up any time I see a man near me, especially if they're in a group and especially if they're drunk. I don't think they even realise how intimidating they are sometimes, or how scary it is to be pestered when you're on your own and if it's late and dark out. I thought for a long time I didn't tell anyone it was because I was trying to avoid confrontation, or that maybe it didn't actually happen and I was overreacting. It's not that. I'm just trying to avoid someone not believing me. Because I already have a constant battle in my head with myself about whether it actually happened or not, whether I could have done more or not. And it's messed up because all of that shit lives on Stigma Island. I mean, you rarely see it in movies or TV unless it's really violent, and yes, sometimes it absolutely is like that. And even then, there will still be people that ask you what you were wearing, or if you were drunk, or if you encouraged it. Somehow, it's common for it to take years to even realise what's happened, because it's just buried way out on that island where everyone seems happy to ignore it. Or just not have proper conversations about it, or to make jokes about it as if it isn't a big deal. But when it's a joke about something you've lived through, it just silences you that little bit more. We all know that no means no, but that gives way too much of an opportunity for this grey area that too many men take advantage of whether they realise it or not, and too many women live in and are consumed by. So could we maybe please change the conversation to yes means yes and anything less than that is a no? Because since that first time, that one time when I asked 3 times to stop, and each time I was brushed aside, since then I haven't been able to ask to stop when I wanted to. I never felt I could, because if I was ignored then when I was so clear, why would anyone listen to me now? And if I don't ask, how are they to know? I didn't say anything, so how would they know that I'm screaming in my head for them to get off of me, but I just can't seem to open my mouth to say it? How are they meant to know when I go to the toilet afterwards to cry, but wait long enough before I go back in so it doesn't look like I was crying? How are they to know when I wasn't reacting as much, or moaning like I would have been if I was into it? How are they to notice when my hands have no passion and are just resting there as dead as I was feeling inside? How are they to know when they never checked with me to see if I was okay, to see if I was into it, to see if I was comfortable with my body being invaded by someone who was meant to love me and took the one thing that is meant to be mine? My body is mine, It's nobody else's, and a massive fuck you to anyone that has made me feel otherwise. Thank you.